everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Stop the BS. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your co-host, Ryan, as Connor would say, Swanka, Danka, Tanka, Schmanka, Swankowski, and I'm joined with our good friend, Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns, how are we doing?
Not the same vibes. Not the same level of aura and that
Oh,
as usual.
oh,
Not the same. But close. There you go. Hey guys, how we doing?
not the same level of aura. Is that because you're missing your mic?
No, it's just not the same level of aura at all. Not the same.
I see. That's sad.
But yeah,
Well, I tried. I tried.
welcome everybody. Back to Stop the BS. Not a very eventful weekend in the NFL, to be completely honest with you. Only really like a couple good games, and that was really about it.
You know what was eventful? Me going 15-1 in my picks. That's pretty eventful.
That's pretty cool.
Almost, dude. I remember earlier when I went, what was it, 14-0 or 15-0? I almost did it again.
Yeah.
So close.
No,
So
you were
close.
close. You were close, but we have a full weekend of football to get into, and we start off with
Connor, where's
what
your
game do you
camera?
want to get into
Where's your
first?
camera?
I'm coming back. Shut up. What game do you want to get into first?
Let's dive straight into also, it was relatively eventful for the most part, kind of. Real quick, I saw this morning, I woke up, had crazy nightmares. Woke up early and like in sweat. Those are the worst. You know what I mean? When you wake up like that, it's awful. But I woke up to the news that there, for the first time ever, there's a chance that in the last 2 weeks of the season in the AFC, all of the seven teams are still being decided like seeded wise. Nuts. All seven of them
Mhm.
can move up or down to any position. So obviously the AFC remains absurdly competitive. Speaking of the AFC, let's start in the NFC. Rams Niners 12-6. I mean, snooze fest. Absolute snooze fest. But the Rams have to be talked about
First game,
because you
the
go
first
and
game all
look.
year with no touchdown.
Is that true?
That's the first game all year with no touchdown.
Wow, it's kind of crazy actually. Yeah, it took to week 15 for that to happen. But the Niners are out. They're officially gone. What a horrific season for them. You can blame it on them. You can't blame it on them. Injuries, just a carousel of madness.
Yep.
Whatever. They're out. Um, the Rams are fighting for the first spot in the NFC West, and they look good. There's no Aaron Donald on that team this year, which worried me. And yet here they are, basically atop of the NFC West.
No, they look fun. I mean, they're doing their thing. It's just, man, the real story about that game is the 49ers just having a utterly terrible season. Just a terrible season. Obviously, they didn't have the right side of the injury stick, but you look at Detroit, who has the same problems, just getting injured left and right. I mean, we'll get into that more, but the Detroit Lions are still winning. Even though they lost this week, they're still winning, even with their injuries. But the 49ers, once they had a couple guys go down, they were just cooked from the get go. And yeah, no, their season is over.
Yep, it is over. Stafford looks good. Cup didn't have a catch in this game. Don't know what
Yeah.
happened there. It's literally catchless.
So it was also pouring rain and it was just horrible conditions all night. That's
Yeah,
also offense
fair. But
too.
I mean, your best player, I mean, I would argue he's their best player overall. Not even getting a catch in the game. He's still winning. Impressive. Also, Debo Samuel went and complained on Twitter 2 weeks ago. I'm not getting the ball enough. I'm not trying to start nothing, but I'm not getting the ball enough. Proceeds to drop like three passes.
Yep.
Just classic. Brandon Ayuk, your little guy who held out for months and months on end, asking for more money, has been out for what, 6, 7 weeks now for the season?
Yep.
McCaffrey,
Pretty.
done. Purdy, in and out. Kittle, in and out. I mean,
It's brutal, man. It
it's
really is brutal.
brutal. It's brutal. And I don't dislike the 49ers. You know, they're fun to watch when they're talented, but good for the Rams. That's all. Good for the Rams. Let's stick in the NFC here. Commanders Saints. I feel like the Commanders -7.5 was the most popular bet of the entire weekend, and it did not come close.
And that's how it usually goes because the most popular ones, they just never do. And the Commanders they were winning the entire game until it just comes down to the end stretch, and the Saints almost won this game, just due to what's it called?
A 2 point
Uh,
conversion.
for the 2 point conversion with time expired, which is the right move. It is
Completely
the
agree.
right move 100%. But
We watched this game together.
yeah, we did. We
That
did.
was
We did.
fun. That was fun.
Yeah. The Saints almost pulled the upset. And I mean, the crazy part is if the Saints won that game, they're in the NFC playoff conversation, which is wild.
That is wild. I don't think they would have made it, but they would have been in the conversation. The Commanders now still solidifying that last spot, I believe, in the wild card. Um, it's funny. These hunts are funny this year because when you look at the AFC, there is no hunt. The hunt is over. There is no more hunt. Dolphins bounced by my Texans. Colts bounced by the Broncos. There's no hunt. Your seven is your seven. Like that is, it's not done. It's done. You look at the NFC. The only really thing that will change at this point, there's two teams that could get in that aren't initially in right now, and that's the Falcons and that's the Seahawks or the Rams, vice versa. So the NFC West winner and the NFC South winner. That's really it. Um, it's interesting because usually you have more teams in the hunt than that. Wouldn't you agree?
No, usually it is more, but this year it's just like the league's kind of split in half.
Yeah, it is
It's
split in half.
contenders are up top, and then everybody else is just down below.
Did you say contenders? Makes me think of our tenders we had on Saturday.
Yeah. No, those were good
You want to
times.
tell them about our little experience? A little Chicago shout out?
No, we just went to this place. It's a chain restaurant like all over the US. It's not a Chicago thing.
Well, I'm not saying it's necessarily a Chicago thing, but what we did in
Yeah, we
Chicago.
went to this place, Miller's Ale House. It was a good time. We watched Sunday Night Football there, and they have good chicken tenders. It was a good time.
Get the zingers. They're awesome. We
Yeah.
uh we got a bunch of appetizers. We watched Green Bay, Seattle. My under hit. I went 10 for 10 on bets this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I went 15 and 1 on picks and 10 for 10 on bets. What a
Yeah.
weekend.
You had one of those weekends.
What a time to be alive.
I'm looking through right now. I'm on NFL.com looking at the playoff picture. So in the AFC, the only clinch teams are the Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, and Texans. And in the NFC, it's the Lions, Eagles, and Vikings. So if Tampa wins this weekend, they have a 93% chance to make it. If the Rams win this weekend, they have a 66% chance. If the Packers win this weekend, they're in.
Wait, so who's on top of the NFC West right now? Is it Rams or Seahawks?
Who's on top of the NFC West? It's
Yeah.
the
So who's
Rams.
the 4 seed?
The
Rams.
Rams are the fourth. They have the tiebreaker over Seattle.
We talked about this 6 weeks ago that the Rams would come striking back, and here they are. Good for them. Good for them. Commanders pull out a very, very tough win, in what shouldn't have really been a tough win, but I guess hard place to play in New Orleans. All right. Chiefs 21, Browns 7. I really got nothing here.
Nothing. There's a lot of games. Look, I'm going to skip down to the madness because today we also do have a shorter episode because I got to go and get my teeth cleaned. Speaking,
Awesome.
skipping into the madness, Bills Lions immediately. Listen,
Man, we jumped we
Josh
jumped a bunch
Allen,
of games there. But all right.
yes, I did because there's no point in talking about a lot of those. Bills Lions, Josh Allen's the guy. It's really just that simple. Josh Allen is the MVP of this year, and it was a close race between him, Lamar, Saquon. It was close, but that just solidifies it. I've never seen a guy where Lamar Jackson goes out there and he has a game with only 4 incompletions and he throws 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns against the New York Giants. They call it a Jackson 5 over there whenever he throws 5 touchdowns.
Nice.
And his MVP odds plummet because Josh Allen goes out there and has a better game against a better team and gets an insane win in Detroit. That is just unbelievable. Like what else is Lamar even supposed to do? What else can he do? I think that's almost as good as you could get throwing 5 touchdowns at only 4 incompletions. I think
Yeah.
that's just wild, man.
Yeah.
But shout out to Buffalo. Bills are rolling, and the Lions. We talked about injuries earlier. David Montgomery out for the season. That is an absolute brutal blow. The Lions, I believe that they have 20 people on IR. 20.
Yep. They need that first round bye badly. They need that first round bye. Are they in it right now or is it the Eagles?
What do you mean? The first round
Who's
bye?
who's got the bye right now?
Oh, it's yeah, no, it's still Detroit. Detroit has it.
Okay. They need that bye badly. They need that extra week to get healthy. You know, we talked about the Niners with the injuries. I'm not going to sit here and feel bad for the Lions because every team has injuries and some more than others.
Hmm.
And they lose by 6, and Dan Campbell goes on the radio and it's like everybody acts like wants to act like the world is falling apart when you lose. He was like, we got so used to eating filet, we don't remember what it was like just to eat whatever the hell he said, something shitty. Um, I mean, you lost by 6 to a very good Bills team, and you're a dinged up team. It was a close game, or they made it closer at the end. These games are going to happen. Granted, to Buffalo, they played a phenomenal football game, offensively, especially. Both these defenses looked really, really bad. Especially the Lions, very exposed. The loss of Aiden Hutchinson early in the season kind of is starting to show up. Secondary didn't look great. Allen could do whatever the fuck he wanted against them, and that was very evident. Um,
Yeah.
Buffalo's damn good. They're damn good. The Lions are still damn good. I mean, it's just a great, great football game. That's a top 5 game of the season so far, for
Yeah,
sure.
no, it was.
But if you're a
And
Lions
Dan
fan, I mean, don't worry. I mean, it's a loss. You're gonna lose sometimes.
and Dan Campbell also makes just great decisions. Kicking an onside kick down 10 with 12 minutes left. He
That
makes
one was questionable.
that was more than questionable. I think that was stupid. As I said, man, there's got to be a guy that you can put next to him to tell him, hey, that's a bit too much. It's a bit too.
No, because that's what he does, and sometimes he's gonna make an over
Yeah, that's
egregious
what he does.
call.
But eventually, what he does is going to cost them a playoff game. That's
Let's
true.
no, let's pump the brakes. He's made one of these decisions out of how many where we're like, oh,
That
and then he
and dude,
converts.
there's so many times where he goes for it on fourth down and it doesn't work, and it doesn't make sense at all.
That's what he
It just
does.
makes no sense whatsoever.
That's
But
what he does.
I guess, and you know what? Let him be him. And I like Dan Campbell a lot, but sometimes it just you gotta be like, hey, this is not the right call at all.
I disagree. I disagree. You let Dan Campbell be Dan Campbell. You're there. You're 11-2, I believe, for a reason. What are they? That's not right. That's not good math. 11 and
12,
3, 12 and 2.
yeah.
They're 12 and 2 for a reason. Let Dan Campbell do his thing. He's going to make some of those iffy calls to people, and this was definitely one of them on the onside
Sure, but
kick.
what's the percentage of recovered onside kicks?
You're absolutely right. I'm not trying
That's a
to,
big difference. That's a big difference in going forward on fourth down anywhere on the field. That's a
and
big.
you're right. You're right. I'm not trying to back that decision per se, but as a fan or as a Lions fan, I feel like you can't be bashing him for that decision,
No, you
given
can't.
given his
Hope that
aggressive mindset.
you can't be as he hope that you hope that he learns from it. You like that's one of those where you have to learn from it and say, okay,
Yeah,
do that again.
but he is who he is. The Lions are there for a reason. They're 12 and
Oh,
2 for a
sure.
reason.
Yeah.
And that part of that is due to his aggressive
I'm not
nature.
discrediting him at
So,
all. I'm just saying sometimes, you really got to think about this stuff, man.
yeah,
Sometimes you really do.
that's
That's
fair.
all. That's it.
That's fair. That's fair. Can we
Moving
talk about
over.
my Texans? Should we go to my Texans? That was a big game.
Sure.
Oh, wow. Wow. We're thinking about a meaningful game, and he's just like, okay.
Oh, against Tua turned the ball over in the Miami Dolphins.
Bro, they were if the Dolphins won this game, they were very much in the mix. And Derek Stingley said, "Not today to turn the ball over." Texans defense is just man, they play with their hair on fire. We look fantastic. Stingley with 2 picks, Bullock with a pick, a fumble recovery, just awesome, awesome defense. Bye bye Miami. Nice knowing you. You can go sit your ass on the bench back home. And the narrative remains that the Miami Dolphins cannot win a big game. Uh, Thoughts? I guess it's just a fact.
Yeah, no. Tua, he was having a little bit of a comeback for a while, and then he just puts on a stinker. And yeah, the Texans damn near got handed the game by Tua throwing the ball straight to him.
Not straight to him. That last interception was crazy. We saw that.
Yeah, that was a
That
nice
was
throw.
that was a hell of an interception. Let's be real here. My Texans win the AFC South. We're clinched in, but God bless. Please don't make us play the Ravens in the first round. That's why I want to keep winning. Offense looked fine. Defense looked great. It was a classic Texans game, yet slightly better than a classic Texans game. Because, of course, it comes down to the wire yet again when it shouldn't. So, still things to fix up. Good win. AFC's had a chance. Okay. Let's see. Steelers, Eagles. Not a lot there.
The Steelers put on a fucking stinker, man.
That was a rough game by the Steelers.
Nothing from them, man. And they've been so fucking good. They've been so good. Their defense has been phenomenal. And then they just throw a goose egg on the board against Philly. They do. I feel like this is gonna be what the Steelers do, man. This is gonna be what the Steelers do every fucking year. They start off so hot. They get to 10 wins, they get to 9, 10 wins, and now they're gonna plummet. I think they're gonna plummet these last 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
You think so?
Yeah, this is what the Steelers do.
I think that's a little of an overreaction. I mean, out
I
on
have
the
no
road,
action whatsoever. Do you remember when they started off what was it? 12-0?
that was a very different team. Very
And
different team.
they get destroyed. No, but it happens over the past fucking 10 years. It's happened year after year to the Steelers. It happens
Yeah,
every year.
but I mean, this is the number two team in the NFC on the road in a night
Oh,
environment.
no, it's a rough game. It is a rough game. But they got fucking dog walked. They didn't even put up a fight. They did not put up a fight whatsoever. If they kept this a close game and it was a close loss, I'd have a lot different narrative right now. But dude, they just looked tired and just outclassed, completely outclassed.
Yep, yep. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I don't know. The Steelers are still a really good team. I don't see them having like a massive caloric downfall here. Um, but we'll see. All right, Eagles look fantastic. Green Bay goes into Seattle, whomps them. Geno Smith, a little dinged up. Jacobs
Yeah.
had whatever he wanted. Jordan Love didn't turn the ball over through the air. He had a fumble, I think. But
hmm Yeah, they handled business, man. And I've seen a lot of Seahawks fans online complaining about the environment in
I
their
saw
stadium.
that.
I've seen a lot of videos about it, just saying how their home field advantage isn't the same how it used to be. Because apparently tickets have gotten really expensive and the real fans can't go, which does make a lot of sense.
That's
But
gonna happen in I feel like all over, not just NFL.
yeah, it is. Tickets are becoming too expensive.
Getting a phone call. Declined. Um, yes, they are. Green Bay looks good though. Seattle better get healthy real fast, or else you're gonna miss the playoffs. All right.
Yep.
Let's see here real quick. Bucks, Chargers, Buccaneers. Exactly what I had in mind for them. Pick them to go into LA and beat the Chargers. Thought Baker Mayfield will continue to roll, and he is. Mike Evans continues to cement himself in the Hall of Fame class whenever he decides to retire. I mean, they dropped 40 on statistically the number one scoring defense in the NFL,
Yeah.
as in points per game. I mean, wow. They were shot out of a cannon in the second half.
Chargers look flat-footed, man. Same business here. They just look flat-footed. I don't know what it was, man. This Chargers team has been rolling, and then it's just they just got outclassed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But also Tampa's fighting for a lot more than the Chargers because they are in a race for this division. I mean, they're in first place right now, but it's still neck and neck for the division, and the Chargers are basically cemented into the playoffs. So I do see that as well.
I mean, that's fair, but I mean, Baker Mayfield continues to just play with his hair on fire, play like it's his last game of his career, throwing blocks downfield, you know, tightrope in the sideline to get extra yards, all this extra stuff that rallies a team. And to put up 40 on the road is more than impressive. So
Mm-hmm.
the Buccaneers are dangerous, man. Their defense isn't fantastic. It's maybe good enough. If Baker Mayfield just limits an interception a game, they can compete with I think almost anybody in the NFC. And
Yeah.
you're probably like, oh, what about the Lions? They beat the Lions this year. Granted, it was a long time ago, but they have beat the Lions this year. Pretty nuts. All right,
Mm-hmm.
Broncos Colts. Broncos get it done. Um, the trick play that AD Mitchell threw a pick six on cemented it. Pure domination in the second half. Anthony Richardson continues to look like dog shit. So all I got
Yeah.
there. Um,
There's really I
Bears,
that's just
Bears, and then we'll move on. Bears.
there's nothing to say about the Bears.
There's something to say.
No, I got nothing to say. There's nothing to say.
Nothing. How long is your losing streak now? 8 games?
It's long. It's long.
Okay. Well, better luck next year. Falcons Raiders. Michael Penix Jr. has officially replaced Kirk Cousins. Kirk in his last 5 games, 1 touchdown to 9 picks. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Off a cliff, man. It's
And if you
really
watch,
sad.
did you watch this game?
No, I was watching the Bears.
Okay. It's so evident that they don't trust him. I mean, it's so evident they don't trust him. They ran the ball so many times. He had not a lot of passing attempts, wasn't pushing the ball downfield very much. I mean, it's just time for a change, I guess. What are your
It's
thoughts? You think it's
one,
it's time?
yeah, no, 1 touchdown and 9 picks in his last however many games is fucking ridiculous, man. Kirk has looked like dog shit, and I'm a huge Kirk Cousins fan, have always been one. But you needed to pull the plug. You needed to pull it. It's just it had to happen. It had to. And I'm happy that it did. And I feel like the Falcons, who are still fighting for a playoff spot, are going to be in a better place because of it.
All right. We'll see how Penix does. You think Penix plays well at home against New York?
Yeah. It's the fucking Giants. I don't know what else you want me to say there. It's fucking
I mean,
Giants.
his first game ever. I don't know. I feel like he could struggle a little bit. A lot
No.
on the table, high pressure, high stakes in
Well,
your own
sure,
building.
no. Sure, no. He might struggle a little bit, but the Falcons as a whole, I think they might run the table to end the season. I mean, they play New York, then they play Um, then they play the Commies. That's a bit of a rough game, and then they ended up against the Panthers. Yeah, in Atlanta. They could win these next three, and I would not bat an eye whatsoever. But instead, let's get into our picks for next week because I just want to pick these fucking games. Let's start off on Thursday Night Football. We have the Denver Broncos going into, I almost thought San Diego for the Chargers, going into LA
Good
against the
times.
Chargers. They need to go back to San Diego, which will never happen, but they need their own stadium there.
Yeah.
We have the Broncos
Oh,
going into LA against the Chargers. This is a close game. I got to think about this for a second.
this is a huge game. Massive game here between two teams, basically solidified in the playoff picture, fighting for wild card standings. Massive game here. And divisional game. I got to go with the home opponent here, even though I think the Chargers are not the better team. The Broncos are the better team to me. Chargers just got smacked in the face. They're at home again. Thursday night football, short week. I feel like Harbaugh's going to thrive there. I like whatever the under is on this game, and give me the Chargers in a really close one. Coin flip.
I do not know who I like in this game at all.
Tough pick. I got Chargers barely. It's probably a pick 'em, is it not?
No, Chargers -2.5. I'm gonna take Denver. Why not? I don't like it at all. I don't like either team, but I'm gonna take the Broncos. Why
Could
not?
go either way. I agree. I
Then we
agree.
go over to the first Saturday games of the year, starting off with the Texans going into Kansas City against the Chiefs. This is going to be an interesting game. Is Mahomes healthy? I
Excuse me.
think he is. And I'm gonna take the Chiefs 14 plus.
Thanks for that, Connor.
You're welcome.
You know who's favored, right?
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm taking the Chiefs.
Feels like me and my buddy were talking. Feels like the reverse of the Jets game for us earlier this year when we were barely favored on the road at the Jets. And you go, what? I'm smashing Texans. And we lost. Now you're at a much better team on the road, and yet you're still favored. So now I'm going, they must know something we don't here in a good way for us. I'm going with my boys on the fucking road. Why not? I don't know if Mahomes was playing. He was listed yesterday as a full participant. Um, we've gone in there before and beaten the Chiefs. We did it with Deshaun Watson. How dare I speak his name? CJ Stroud has never played against Mahomes. I'm not necessarily comparing. Well, I am actually. Brady had his kryptonite in Eli Manning. Patrick Mahomes' is kryptonite. Who is it? Maybe you say Josh Allen. The record book would beg to differ. CJ Stroud might be Patrick Mahomes'
Okay,
kryptonite.
stop talking. Just stop.
Just saying. I'm
Stop.
just saying. We don't know yet. We don't know. I'm gonna go with my boys on the road to beat the Chiefs.
I don't hate you picking themselves, but Jesus Christ, man.
I'm just saying. Who was Brady had a kryptonite? It was Eli
Shut up.
Manning.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. The people don't need to hear this.
I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying it could happen.
That's just interesting. Um,
I got my Texans.
3:30. The Steelers going into Baltimore against the Ravens. I'm
This is
gonna
for the
roll
division, man.
I'm gonna roll with what I said earlier and give me the Ravens to have a day with the Steelers. Simple.
I like that too. I think the Ravens' momentum's too high. Um, at Baltimore Saturday. Yeah, I gotta go Ravens as well. Does that put them in front in the division, or are
No,
you sure?
no.
It might.
Oh yeah, no, but I don't know what the whole
But who won earlier this year between them?
the Steelers did. So I don't know.
Then it comes down to divisional record.
Yeah. So then it would be. Let me see.
Probably. Well, they both
Uh,
lost to the Browns.
hold on. Where's their? Why doesn't it show their division win percentage on here? What the fuck? Where is it? Division standings. Where is the AFC North? It's here.
You got it. You're so close.
Where the fuck is their divisional wins? Here we go. Steelers would be. Oh, they both be 3-2 in their division.
Then it goes down to AFC wins. We don't got to do all the math. I
And
guess we'll see
conference
next week.
wins. Steelers are 7-2. Yeah, no, the Ravens would still be second.
Wow. Okay. Um, but this is the dagger. If the Steelers get it done, I don't think they get it done. I think it's the Ravens. So we both have the Ravens. Okay. Great games on Saturday. Except I won't be watching.
Yeah, because of the playoff, it's going to be
Mhm.
interesting. Hey, you could watch. You watch the Texans Chiefs game.
A little bit, not all of it.
Yeah, but then we have the Giants going into Atlanta against Falcons. Give me the Falcons, big time win for them. The Giants are the worst team in the NFL. Go ahead, pick the Giants. Go ahead.
You know I
Go
can
ahead.
never do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Um, expect some bumps and hiccups here for Penix. I know he's going to bring a new vibe to the team. People are going to be like, "Oh, the Falcons are going to be fucking back. He's going to tear the Giants apart. He's going to play well. The Falcons are going to win by 20. It's going to be a whole new vibe." I disagree. I think it's going to be a really sloppy game. I think the Falcons are still going to win, but expect some bumps from Penix here. I got the Falcons barely.
All right. Then next up, we have the Lions going into Chicago against the Bears. I'll be a big game.
Next,
Very excited. Give me Detroit to win.
Lions. Bears are you guys are literally a dead animal out there in the woods, just waiting to be picked up or eaten, and so you can start a new life.
Yeah, and then hopefully we could be like the Texans and their 3 fans, all excited and make the playoffs.
Whoa, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Some shots being thrown.
I
Look
hope.
at this.
All right, next up we have the Cardinals
Wow.
going to Carolina against the Panthers.
Wow.
This is an interesting game.
Cardinals.
Yeah, the Panthers. I mean, I trusted them this week. I'm not picking them again. I trusted them to beat the Cowboys, and then they get fucking killed. They get fucking killed. I
They're
thought,
wanting to lose. They're going to keep losing on purpose.
you know what? This is your week, Carolina, and then they did nothing. All right, then next up, we have the Rams going into New York against the Jets.
Rams, but I think it's closer than it may appear to be. I got the Rams in a really
Territory.
gruesome, yucky game.
Yeah, the Jets looked fucking good. Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers connection looked good, but yeah, give me the Rams here. And then next up, we have the Eagles going into Washington against the Commanders.
Okay.
This is a fun one. This is starting to come down to the wire. If somehow the Eagles lose out, I think that the Commanders can win their division. If the Commanders win out, um, I'm gonna take Philly though. I'm gonna take the Eagles. No really upsets for me so far, besides the Broncos and the Chiefs. Actually, the Broncos and the Chiefs. But yeah, give me. They're not really upsets, but yeah, give me the Eagles.
I'm gonna take the Eagles as well. They're just playing too good a ball. If the Commanders came out last week from their bye and put up a good amount of points and won by a good margin, this prediction I think would be different for me. But the Eagles are playing way too good a ball. I don't care where they're playing. I don't care who they're playing right now. It's Eagles all day long. I got Eagles.
Yeah. And next up, we have the Browns going into Cincinnati against the Bengals.
This game means legitimately nothing. It does not mean a thing except draft order. And I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Give me famous Jameis and the Browns. Why not? Why not?
No, no, no.
Why not?
Jameis looks awful, and I love Jameis.
You never know. Why not?
He looks really bad. I'm gonna go with
Uh,
the Bengals. Zach Taylor's fighting for his job. He's trying to win every game possible.
he's not going to keep his job, regardless of what he does. He is good as day. Um, then next up, we have the Titans going into Indy against the Colts. The Colts were fighting for their life, but now their season is dead.
Another meaningless game. I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah.
The Titans are just atrocious, awful, train wreck, if you want to call them that. Give me AR to run for like 150, because he can't throw the ball, and
Mhm.
give me the Colts.
And then we move over to the 3 o'clock games where we have the Vikings going into Seattle against the Seahawks.
Huge game.
Oh,
Any update on Geno?
no idea.
Let's see. Good
Uh,
news on knee injury.
we'll undergo test. I don't know. Seahawks optimistic that he'll play on Sunday.
It says that.
Yep. And that's what ESPN said. I'm gonna go with the Vikings are a fucking chance, so I can't pick against them. Give me the Vikings and watch. It's gonna be the week that they lose. If there's a week that they lose, it's going to be this one.
Yeah, I'm Vikings as well. If I knew Geno was 100% healthy, I'd maybe go Seattle, but here I'm picking the better team. I'm picking the better team, and Minnesota's been having their way as of late, really majority of the season. I'll go with the Vikings here. I think it'll be close because Seattle's really playing with the backs against the wall now. It's ride or die. So, but I'll take the Vikings in a close one.
All right, then next up we have the Patriots going into Buffalo against the Bills. Give me the Bills Mafia to fucking roll.
Could this be the one?
Just pick the damn game.
Could this be the one? I don't have an upset. I don't have an upset in this entire slate. Could this be the one? I can't do it.
Exactly.
I think it's close. I think it's close because this game always seems to be close for some reason. Not always, but sometimes. Division game. Buffalo riding high. Expect them to come out a little flat. That's what I'm going to say. But
Sure.
Buffalo.
All right, and then next up we have the Jaguars going into Vegas against the Raiders. Give me the Jags.
Yikes.
Jones do his job. Raiders.
I'm going to go with the Raiders here and Dalton, or I'm just completely blanking on his name. Desmond Ritter. Give me the Raiders and Desmond Ritter to win a game at home. Jags are fucking. Both these teams are just awful. Train wrecks. I'm gonna take the Raiders here, and I don't even know if that's an upset, but these games so far seem quite lopsided. So
And then next up, we have the last 3 o'clock game. The 49ers going into Miami against the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Dolphins just because I feel like they still have something a little bit to play for, even if it's just hope.
I
So,
agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins as well. You saw this game at the beginning of the season. You're like, this game will matter so much. The Dolphins are gonna be the AFC East picture. Oh my God, the Niners are probably gonna be a game or two ahead in the NFC West. What a game this will be! Shit show. Shit
yeah.
show. I'll take the Dolphins. I don't know.
Yeah. And then next up, Sunday Night Football. We have the Buccaneers going into Dallas against the Cowboys.
Can we stop giving Dallas primetime games? Will that ever happen? No. But once you see that they're 4-9, not even 5 weeks before this game should have been moved.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Bucks to win, but I like the Cowboys to cover whatever the line is. Haven't even looked at it. I
I'm
like the
taking. I'm just taking the Bucks, man. I'm taking the fucking Bucks. You think that defense is gonna slow down Baker Mayfield? No,
I could see it being a close game. I could
that's
see that.
fine. Bucks.
Yeah. And then Monday Night Football, the Saints going into Green Bay against the Packers. That's such an easy pick. Give me Green Bay.
Packers. Man, outside of like two or three games, these were really generic picks. I
Two good games are on Saturday, man. Besides
And
Vikings
why are
Seahawks,
they on Saturday? Why? You have playoff football for college. Why?
you
Why?
guys are on Saturday because you play on Christmas Day, which is Wednesday. So instead of having a 3 day break, they have a 4 day break. That's why they're on Saturday.
I mean, I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
But
Um, but that's gonna do it for NFL. That's what we have. And now we have college football playoff games this week.
we need a guest on here soon. Can we get whatchamacall?
Right.
Since my
But
Texans play the
going
Ravens
back,
next week.
we have the college football playoff.
Hey, what the hell?
What?
I'm trying to talk to you.
What?
We need to get why am I blanking? Your boys on next week.
Who?
Next network.
Do we? We don't have a show next week.
Oh, we should do one though, because my Texans play the Ravens. That'd be a good one.
Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. I'm gonna be busy as hell. I can't do next
Well,
week.
I will be too. I will be too. But
I don't
maybe we do over Thursday episode or something. I don't know.
know. All right. And I can't do Thursday either because I'll be at the Bears Seahawks game.
What
But
time?
I'll be in the city by probably like noon. That's gonna be
All
the
right.
end.
Early morning Thursday.
No, I can't. I can't do Thursday. We'll talk. We'll talk. But we have college football playoff this weekend, this whole week. We have a bunch of bowl game matchups, which started on Saturday, but really started last night. A bunch of random bowl games. Last night was Memphis and West Virginia. But we got 4 games to pick. Starting off on Friday night, there's Indiana, Notre Dame, and then Saturday, SMU, Penn State, Clemson, Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State. It's going to be interesting, man. And the really interesting part is looking right now on ESPN. What the hell? You could go to the Clemson, Texas game for $69. You could
I
go
don't
to the
know.
Penn State game for $53. You could go to the Ohio State, Tennessee game for $110. And then you look at Indiana, Notre Dame, and the tickets as low as $473. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's start. Let's go through. Let's start on Friday night. Indiana going to Notre Dame. What do you think?
I got even though my brother was being by the way, my twin brother goes to Notre Dame. I love Notre Dame. And even though he's being quite obnoxious to me about how Notre Dame is better than UT, and if they met in the ship, Notre Dame would wipe UT, and I'm like, dude, people love to talk about beating the horns. The horns only care about who's in front of them. And Notre Dame should be worried about Indiana because Indiana is a damn good team, and that coach knows how to win. And Notre Dame hasn't been tested legitimately, really at all this season. That being said, I'm going to take Notre Dame to win. I like maybe Indiana for a backdoor cover. I'm going to take Notre Dame to win. Plain and simple.
Yeah, when I was thinking about this game, I saw a line Notre Dame 7-point favorites, and that place is going to be absolutely unbelievable. The Battle of Indiana. Notre Dame is not losing that game. Notre Dame is winning that game by 14 points or more. They are going to put that Indiana team on skates just like Ohio State did. And I love Indiana. I've been a supporter of them all year, but it's not going to be pretty. Give me Notre Dame big.
You want to tell them about your bet?
Yeah, I did place a bet for Notre Dame because I do agree with his brother with a lot of things that he said. And I think that Notre Dame has been the best team in the country since they lost to NIU. And I like Notre Dame to go to the national championship. I don't think that they win it if they play Oregon, but I like them to go to the national championship.
All
Because
right.
also their path, as long as they beat Georgia next on New Year's, they have the easiest path in the whole playoff picture.
Oh, man, they got a game on Friday they got to focus on. Did you have them to win it or have them to make it?
Just to make the championship.
Okay. All right. I don't hate it. I don't hate
But
it.
just make,
I got the Irish too. I love the Irish. I got them this weekend. The Indiana team is sneaky. I like the under there, by the way. 52 and a half in that type of weather. Kind of defensive Notre Dame team runs the ball
Oh,
under,
for sure.
under. Okay, next up.
Then we have SMU going into Penn State, a whiteout at 11 in the morning, which is going to be really interesting to say the very least. But I think that Penn State just kills them. I think SMU, they had their run, they got in, and a lot of questions are going to be raised after this about Alabama. And oh, why did we let this SMU team in? And they just went to Penn State and got destroyed. What do you think?
Well, I think SMU absolutely deserves. Excuse me, guys. Gosh, I think SMU absolutely deserves to be in.
Me too.
And this is the game everybody's been talking about. Oh, Penn State will murder him. Oh, Penn State's going to kill him. Look at this environment. Look at the weather. Look at SMU. No way they're going to hang. They'll fucking hang. They're going to hang. I, I'm going to take Penn State to win. Make sure you hear me right. I'm going to take Penn State to win. This SMU team, if they're able to not be penalized, not kill themselves with penalties, just come out the gate, control what you can control. Don't let the game get away from you in the first quarter. I think they hang the entire time. I think they hang around the entire time because their defensive line and pressure rate best in college football. They're penalized a lot. Take away the penalties. You have to just get used to that environment as quick as you can. They will hang around. I think this game's going to be actually closer than people think. I'm going to take Penn State though.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take Penn State and I'm gonna take them large. I think that Penn State's just gonna blow the doors off of them. I don't think it's gonna be close. And yeah, that's really all I got for
I
that
think it
game.
will be. It's going to be closer than people want it to be.
Um, then next up, we go to the 3 o'clock game. Clemson going into Texas against the Longhorns. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting. And when I looked at all these games, I was thinking a lot about all these games. Give me Dabo Sweeney and Clemson to go in and upset Texas. I hate to do it to you. I actually do. I hate to do it to you, and it's going to be wrong. I mean, I'm picking a 12-point dog to win a game outright, which I don't expect that. But I think that there's one underdog that's going to win. And looking through all of these, that's the one underdog that I fell in love with just because of playoff experience. It's the only reason why. Dabo, man, out of all the coaches, he's the one who got in his bag. I mean, I might put like $5 on Clemson to win, but I mean, I'm going to take him plus 12. I think they keep it a close game regardless. But
I think there's definitely a chance they cover. To win, no, no. Texas is better in every single aspect, and our
yep.
defense is way too damn good for Clemson to be able to hang around with us. That's my personal opinion. I think a lot of people would probably agree that Texas has probably the best overall defense in the nation. And let's be honest here, Clemson lost 3 regular season games, beat SMU by 3. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be here, but it was an interesting way to get in. I'll say that. And they've had times this year where they've looked completely flat. I don't mind, you're saying a little backdoor cover, whatever, that's fine. But in every aspect of the game, my horns are better than them. And I think we see that on the field on Saturday. So I'll be there at the stadium, 3 p.m. here in Austin, 60, low 60s and sunny, classic Texas weather. Wish it was a little colder, but I'm going to take my horns here to win. Simple.
Well, no, I mean, the thing it's exactly what you said, is that Texas is better than them in every single way. And that's the best part about college football, because every single week, teams that are better than them in every single way lose. And I do think that, I don't know. I mean, I'm just pulling it out of my ass, but if I had to pick one upset in this slate, it is Clemson to beat
That's
Texas.
fine. That's fine. I think we will really learn from our SEC championship game. And I think do not be surprised if you see more Arch Manning, not in a starting capacity, and bring him in for a play or two, take him back out. Quinn does the rest of the drive. Just expect to see more Arch Manning. That's what I'm gonna say. He's like the Swiss Army knife right now for UT. Expect to see him more and expect the defense to play well. That's my take.
And then next up, the last game, Saturday night, the Tennessee Volunteers going into Ohio State at the shoe. Um, I've been looking at this, man. Dude, I think that what's it called? I think that this place is going to be pretty orange. I'm not going to lie. I like I've been seeing Twitter and everything, and it's crazy the amount of Tennessee fans that travel to these games. Like back in, I forget when it was, but they played LSU like 2 or 3 years ago when they were fighting for like when they were really good. Tennessee was very good, and there were over 35,000 volunteer fans at LSU. For this playoff game, dude, it might be like a 45-55 split. It might be crazy how many fans travel up for this.
And that leads directly into my take, in my opinion, is what I also stated last week. I got Tennessee outright. This is my quote unquote upset. Um, I think this first half is going to be relatively close, and I think the fans start to turn on the whole Ohio State system that Ryan Day has created and built. They're tired of this shit. He hasn't beaten Michigan, 0-4 versus Michigan. That loss, I think, really is going to carry. Some people say, oh, it's going to spark a flame. It's going to fire him up. You know what? It might. I'm going to take the contrary and say, if this game is close at halftime, it's Tennessee's. They're going to win it. I think the fans and the fan base are going to basically be like, what the fuck? And you'll feel that energy when Ohio State runs out after the third or at the start of the third quarter. You'll feel the what the hell is going on? The why are we choking this game? What is Ryan Day doing? And then from there on, I got Tennessee outright.
Yeah. I don't hate this pick at all. I'm gonna be rooting for Tennessee. I'm gonna have Tennessee to cover, but I just can't find it in my heart to do it. I'm gonna take Ohio State. I just think that Ohio State they go in there and yeah, they will be pissed off after that Michigan loss. There's not a lot of worse things than losing to Michigan. And they're just going to go in there and they're going to give Tennessee some business, but it will be a close game. I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend. I think it's going to be down to the wire. Maybe they win by a field goal, but Tennessee, man, they're going to make that environment rough. They're going to
Yes,
make it.
they will. And that defense is damn good. Damn good
Oh,
defense. If Nico Imalava can just hit the man downfield, it's over. It's done. I think it's wraps. So we'll see. It's going to be a great game. But I got Tennessee.
Tennessee fans, man, some of the most loyal motherfuckers in sports, man. They will do anything for that team. It's ridiculous.
Yes, they will.
We'll see how it goes. That's the playoff. That's our NFL picks. I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening. We really do appreciate it, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you
We
soon,
will
dude.
we'll keep everybody updated on next episode. It might be next Thursday. I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll have to
But
see. It's Christmas, so
happy
we'll see.
holidays.
But happy holidays. Have a great weekend with your football, college football, NFL football. Enjoy it all.
Yep. See you guys.
Alrighty.